Time now for the Sports Six-Pack with Andrew Rogers.
You know the drill. Send in your questions for the Sports Six-Pack. Crack open an ice-cold beer with me, and let's have some fun. These questions coming from you. We grab them. I send them to Shane. We get them answered right here on the Sports Six-Pack. At Hale Varsity Club right now. Hale Varsity Club, the best place to enjoy a six-pack. So hopefully you are on your way here. Grab a drink, grab some food, and let's do the do.
Before you go, do you prefer bottles, cans, or tap?
Draft, for sure. If I had my option, oh yeah, 10 times out of 10. I'd take draft all day, twice a day. And then it would go bottle, and then it would go can.
Well, I'm glad we're using can in the sound effects because I don't want to be dropping glasses.
No.
That'd be kind of messy.
Well, it's either that or we're at a Greek wedding, one of the two. Opa.
Question number 1.
What excites you most about this Nebraska women's basketball team?
Yeah, coming off a huge victory against Maryland, I think it's their tenacity. And they aren't overly flashy. They've been a little streaky at the start of the year, but they're very controlled. And their second half performance really impressed me in 3 games this year. One of them they ended up losing. But the game against Drake, I thought they did a great job of responding on the road and playing till the final whistle. The game against Mississippi State, when they took down the Bulldogs in overtime, that was a great showing of knowing that you are, if not are better conditioned than the other team because you're able to play 5 quarters of basketball. And then it was that last game against Maryland, when they go off 90-67. This is an instance, too, where I will credit Nebraska. They didn't take their foot off the gas. They didn't pump the brakes ever. Because you can't against a top 25 team in the Big Ten. Well, not Big Ten, excuse me, in the NCAA. What's that?
Ever.
Take your foot off the gas? I mean, if you're playing high school basketball and you're up 100-3, yeah, take the foot off the gas. But in this case, no. You run up the score in college. If you aren't predicted to win the game, then you keep scoring until that final buzzer. And that's what this Nebraska team does. They've done a phenomenal job figuring out their form. Jazz Shelley has been awesome. It's something that DB and I predicted would happen after a slower start to the season, but she's had to become the one on this team, the person to score. And that really has never been her strong suit. So I was told when I first started covering this team. But there's a lot of great players on this front. I mean, Markowski's awesome. Bourne's awesome. There's a smattering of other great players on this team. Nebraska does a very good job of just making themselves known every time they step on the floor.
Hey, yeah, they're doing some good things.
Question number 2.
What's up with all these media members and them reporting false news?
Are they talking about Arson Judge?
You tell me.
Arson Judge to the Giants? I would assume they're talking about John Heyman and his lack thereof reporting skills when it came to Aaron Judge and the Giants. I don't know who told him that was a done deal, but people freaked out. News came out, Aaron Judge to the Giants. And then all of a sudden, like 15 minutes later, it was, I need to retract my statement. I don't think my source was credible in this case. And then this morning, Aaron Judge signs a 9 years, $360 million deal with the New York Yankees. So, look, it happens. People hear things. They want to be the first to it. It's kind of the desire when the desire in media. That's how I'll say it. You want to be the first to tell people so that you get that like button to you. You get those followers to you. You become a credible source. Fortunately for Heyman, he still is a credible source because he's built such a great hill to stand on. But aside from that, I mean, that was a miss. That was a big miss. But people miss all the time. People just want to be right. They want to be first. They want to be right. And before double-checking, they push something out. And in this case, John Heyman has thousands, if not a million followers. I don't really know his total number. But it's easy for that to get picked up so quickly when you see the name Arson Judge pop up.
But it's also, and it's kind of unfortunate, too, it's also easy to forget that, too. Mm-hmm. To forget the reporting of the false news.
And, you know, I don't know if this is the alleyway you were headed down, but this is where I'm going. People are just so quick to judge. They love telling people they're wrong. I don't know if that's like a human thing. I don't know if that's, you know, sparked even more with social media because you can tell people you're wrong more. But people just like being right and telling people they're wrong, and that makes them feel good. If that makes you sleep at night, great. But I'll tell you what, media members make mistakes all the time, and this won't be the last mistake that's made.
I'm not going to say you're wrong.
Question number 3.
After missing the waiver deadline, who should I pick up to win this week?
Well, is James Cook still available? Because that was my favorite from the God Bless Fantasy Football podcast. I'd pick him up. He is worthy of an ad at this point. It was more of a timeshare backfield with Singletary last week, even though Singletary did outtouch him by 1. It was 33-32, I think, but James Cook, 8 in the receiving column. He outgained Singletary 105 to 51, somewhere around there. Singletary ended up in the end zone, but when it comes to PPR production, it looked to be James Cook's area of expertise, at least in that game. The week prior to that, he didn't do much, but the week before that, he was also heavily used. I think he ran the ball 14 times. So the Bills are starting to use James Cook more. A lot of people had high expectations for him because he was drafted in the 3rd round of the NFL draft this past year. I think that's right, 3rd round. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Media mistake and all. They love to tell me.
I think you're wrong.
But when it comes to James Cook, he's a great ad. He's somebody to hold on to. I wouldn't say start him this week. He's not like, hey, fire him up. It's kind of the wait-and-see approach. See how much the Bills run the football. And if it's a game that they're winning, they will. If it's a game that they need points, Josh Allen's going to put the game in his hands. So I like James Cook, though, but there's really just not a lot out there, which is why I'm throwing out the name James Cook.
Question number 4.
Oh, this one looks pretty good. Just like that beer. Would you rather have universal respect or unlimited power?
What comes with unlimited power here, Shane? What do you think?
I would choose unlimited power, because if you have unlimited power, I mean, if it was up to me, you'd have unlimited power, and you could do a lot of good, which in turn would get you universal respect.
I'm with you there, but what does unlimited power actually get me? Does that mean, like, I am the president? I am, like, the dictator? Or is it like, hey, I'm the CEO and I have a bunch of money? Like, what is unlimited power?
I was just thinking you had, like, unlimited electricity and you could just light everybody's house up.
Hey,
you would
great
get a
way
lot
to
of,
look
you
at
would
it.
Get a lot
of respect for that. Yes. Well, since I can't really define unlimited power, I'll stick with universal respect. I'd rather be, you know what? I'm going to pull a card out of DB's playbook. I'd rather be well respected than well liked. And yes, you can be both in a way, but more often than not, respect goes further. So I'm going to stick with universal respect.
Question number 5.
How would you bet on the Nebraska-Indiana basketball game tonight? Because I'm going to bet the opposite. That's funny.
Well, yeah, because my last 2 Nebrasketball bets did not hit. I said take the under, or rather, was it the over? I don't know. I think I said take the under because of defense. And, well, the over hit with flying colors. So
you took the undies both times?
Yeah, I think so. Well, that's a funny question because you're absolutely right. However, I think I'm right here. I'm going to go Nebraska ATS tonight. I think it's 12.5. I like them as a double-digit dog coming off of a win where they were also a double-digit underdog. And Indiana seems to be a little stir-crazy after their loss to Rutgers. I'm not saying that they can't easily turn it around, and they may get back Hood Schifino tonight. Still up in the air. I haven't seen a confirmed report yet. But they just didn't shoot the ball very well. And it's hard to just say, hey, we shot the ball 30% and now we're going to shoot the ball 50%. You're still going to be thinking about last week. As much as you try to put it in the rear view, you're still going to be thinking about, hey, what if this shot doesn't fall right away? Or, hey, we get off to a slow start. Oh, no, it's the woes of last weekend again. I think that plays to Nebraska's advantage here, and I'd take them 12.5.
12.5?
Yeah.
The whole 12.
The whole half.
Question number 6.
Follow up to that, score prediction.
Man, I hate questions like this because in basketball especially, like, how can I be right? Like, I mean, in any sport, how can you really be right? But basketball in particular, over-under was set at, I think, like 130-something. We'll go Indiana 72, which would leave me how much? If I did 60, that would get me the 12.
Right.
Let's do Indiana 72 and Nebraska 60.
Okay, that sounds...
I still get the spread, and I still get the score.
That sounds pretty good. I'm still probably going to bet opposite of you.
Yep, and you should. Bet Nebraska money line. Why not?
Feeling tipsy yet? Catch more of Andrew Rogers from 7 to 9 in the morning on Hail Varsity Radio.